into the financial health of Coca-Cola, the company, and letting you guys know whether they are a financially and fiscally responsible company. So, for my Discover, my goal is to determine their financial health by researching their financial statements. I utilize Yahoo with their income statement and balance sheet because that gives me all the information I need. My two big questions were: how are they doing now? How are they doing in the last 4 years? Is it a smart investment, and are they financially healthy? For my represent, my goal was to create a code that develops specific ratios, these five listed here, because these will tell us and point us in the direction of the answer we are looking for. And the code will pull data from the balance sheet and the income statement and calculate these. For implement, I pull the information from Yahoo on Coca-Cola's financial statements, as I said before, and I use Gemini to create codes to calculate the ratios desired. So basically up here, I can break it down. This is the prompt I entered for Gemini. This is their income statement and balance sheet put together. And I asked them, use KISS to write a code that calculates return on investment, ROE, profit margin, current ratio, and earnings per share. I also asked them to please explain each ratio as well because I am not as versed as Gemini is. So it printed out this for me. This gave me the code that I could enter into Colab. I ran the code. It looked right. I compared it to the financial statements that Yahoo showed me, and all the information was right. With validate, I did validate that the data was correct, and I did not make a mistake entering in the data. So after this code gave me data from 2024 back to 2021, and it shows all of their information, the five ratios we mentioned before. What I got from this is it shows slow and steady growth. They're a very smart company. Their last 4 years show that they're not a boom company. They're not going to explode, but they are a slow growth. They are smart, and they will increase over time, slowly but surely. This is and crucial for people investing in a stock like Coca-Cola because big part of investing is when to know when to pull out. And Coca-Cola is a stock that you would want to hold on for a while. So this all shows that they have slow and steady growth over the last 4 years. But one of my big questions is, how is their financial health? Are they a steady company? Do they make smart decisions? So adding on to that code I entered before, I asked Gemini to use KISS to create a Python code that gives Coca-Cola a score on financial health. Gave me another code that I did put into Collab. It had this, I ran it, it all looked right. I checked it off with data we used above, and it gave it a 3 out of 3 financial health evaluation. So just going back to this, it made the Python script. It was a simple code. It went into depth, but it ranked them out of three, these three being excellent, good, and fair, with a simple breakdown. This breakdown, it gave it the best score it could get, and its rationale behind it is that revenue's increasing, which we saw, and it's a positive sign, obviously. Net income has shown strong growth, which another great thing if for investors or for people interested in the company or even executives on the company, because it's demonstrating profitability. Gets better over time. And the last thing it told me is the company's operating margin has improved, which suggests increased efficiency. Another important thing to know. Coca-Cola overall with these 3 points, the perfect score. It concluded that the company shows signs of good financial health, which I agree with. Based on this data up here, it kind of points, all directions point towards a company that makes great growth over time. Um, so going back over to here, Evolve. It is important to use the same method from other companies that people are interested in investing in, or even people that work for the company, executives, all those things. Coca-Cola is a steady company. Obviously, it's a name brand, but it has increased revenue, profit margin. All of those are doing well, and they get better from 2021 all the way up to 2024 last year. And for my reflection, Basically, just repeating what I said, I believe Coca-Cola is a financially healthy company. Their data, including revenue and profit margins, continues to grow year after year, slowly, but growth is growth. Overall, this assignment I did find difficult. It took me many hours to complete. I struggled with the coding. Took me a bunch of tries, putting stuff in the Gemini, seeing what works because I did have failed attempts, but this worked out. And processes like this, like coding, using coding and Gemini and Google Colab are very important when making decisions like investing in a company because they can tell you a lot about their history and the current state of the company. One thing I would change if I were to do this again is I would spend more time diving deep into the actual data before using Python to code. I did do a lot of that, but if I was fully making a decision, I would look into it more and also pull data from past years before 2021. And I would also use a more vigorous financial health evaluation. If I was to put money in this, I would want, a scale from 50 rather than three because it may not be the most broad. It doesn't explore all ins and outs of the company. But overall, my conclusion, answering my question is yes, I believe investing in Coca Cola is a great decision based off the fact that they're a fiscally healthy company. They make smart decisions, and their growth over the last 4 years has shown that they are a solidified company.